We're at one of the most beautiful college campuses in the country. Just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, the University of San Diego is our host for this month's episode of WCC All-Access.
I'm Sammy O'Brien.
And I'm Ezra Broder, and coming up, we preview spring sports in the West Coast Conference.
Plus, we go all access with two WCC hoops coaches who show us family is still the top priority, even during basketball season.
And he's won 3 NBA titles and has coached some of the best players ever. We catch up with former Portland point guard Erik Spoelstra. But first, baseball season is here, and it looks like it'll be as competitive a year as ever in the WCC. Sammy previews the season on the diamond with our baseball analyst, Alex Jensen.
We're going to preview the 2019 WCC baseball season, and Alex will get started first. Gonzaga, the reigning champs, also preseason favorites coming into this one. Are they primed to repeat?
Well, I think they've got some of the pieces. Mark Machtolf always builds his team on pitching and defense, and even though they do lose some pieces from their lineup, they return the pitching and defense, and that's really what this program is built on, and it's really kind of become a juggernaut here in the West Coast Conference.
Let's dig a little deeper into the conference. Last year you had some teams like Santa Clara who were surprising in their first year under Rusty Filter. What surprise teams do you see happening this year?
Well, I'll give you a couple. I think LMU came on strong at the end of last year. They returned a couple of main pitchers from a year ago, and of course we know the coaching job that Jason Gill did last year, so I think you got to look out for the Lions. The other team I like, Sammy, are the Portland Pilots. Now, they were picked to come in 8th, and under Jeff Loomis as their head coach, kind of a new look pitching staff. Not only that, but the Pilots do return a first teamer in Cody Hawken in the outfield, who led their team in home runs a year ago, and they're sitting on 2 straight top 100 recruiting classes, which is the first time that's happened in program history.
Well, and you mentioned a couple of those surprise teams for the conference this year. How about some players to look out for?
Well, I think let's start here at St. Mary's, since we are sitting in Moraga. You have maybe the most accomplished two-way player in college baseball at this point in Kevin Milam, who returns to his Saturday spot in the rotation. And Ken Waldachuk's a preseason All-American. He won the West Coast Conference's pitching triple crown last year. USF. Riley Ornito returns to anchor that rotation. San Diego's got a left-handed pitcher named Chris Murphy, who put up some very good numbers a year ago.
And so finally, the 4 teams that will be heading to Stockton to play at Banner Island Ballpark for the WCC Championship. Who are they this year?
This year I think you have a clear-cut 3 favorites. I think Gonzaga, Pepperdine, and St. Mary's. And then I think the 4th spot right now, before conference play starts, is kind of between 2 teams. I think San Diego has the most draft talent. The other team I like that kind of does it in a year-in, year-out basis, much like Gonzaga, is San Francisco and Nino Girotano. And if you can string together enough wins, you'll find yourself either at or near Stockton in that 4th, 5th place in the state.
And here's the preseason poll as voted on by the head coaches. Gonzaga is picked to finish 1st, with defending champ Pepperdine and St. Mary's right behind. The Toreros in 4th, with San Francisco, BYU, LMU, Portland, Santa Clara, and Pacific rounding out the poll. Meanwhile, softball season is well underway. The big question is, can anyone in the WCC unseat 5-time defending champion BYU? Take a look at how the coaches think it'll shake out. The 5-time WCC defending champion BYU Cougars earned the top spot with 4 first-place votes, 24 total points. LMU follows with 2 first-place votes, then San Diego, Pacific, Santa Clara, and St. Mary's rounding out the poll.
One thing we focused on a lot was working together as a team, so we lost a lot of seniors that were starters last year, and this year we have a lot of new players, and so getting to work together and mesh together was something we really focused on.
And for the 2019 preseason All-WCC team, BYU leading the way with 6 student athletes. In the field, Bridget Fleener, Riley Jensen, Libby Sugg, and Lexi Taro. And on the mound, Autumn Moffitt and Carissa Viramontes. From San Diego, Lindsay Clark and Taylor Spence. From LMU, Andrea Gonzalez and pitcher Hannah Bandramere. From Pacific, Haley Reed and Tally Shepard. From Santa Clara, Hannah Russell. And from St. Mary's, Kamiko Zapanta.
Time to take a break. When we come back, Sammy takes us down the coast to see what's making headlines on campus. And we see a side of a Gales head coach that not many do. We go all access with Paul Thomas of St. Mary's women's basketball coming up next. WCC All Access is brought to you in part by Nike.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
the University of San Diego is leading in the community, around the world, and beyond. As innovators and pace setters, the University of San Diego is leading change.
We're back on WCC All-Access from the campus of San Diego. I'm Sammy O'Brien. Well, it's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. Pacific's Brian Colsey started the softball season with a milestone win. He became just the 36th head coach in D1 history to win 750 games. He's now in his 27th season at the helm of the Tiger softball program. Congrats, Coach. On the hardwood, a Gonzaga duo is in rarefied air. Brandon Clark and Rui Hachimura are two of 30 players on the Naismith midseason team, meaning they're in the running for the National Player of the Year. BYU's Jimmer Fredette is the only player from a WCC school to win the award. On the green, BYU's Peter Quest is among the best golfers in the nation. The junior is one of 28 men on the Ben Hogan Award watch list. That's given to the best college golfer in the country at any level. Quest won 3 fall tournaments and is ranked 19th nationally. The San Diego men and Pepperdine women have a stranglehold on the rest of the conference's tennis teams. Will it continue in 2019? Let's preview the spring tennis seasons. Starting with the women, primed to repeat in unanimous fashion is Pepperdine University. The Waves led the pack with 81 votes, followed by LMU and Gonzaga. San Diego at 4, St. Mary's 5, BYU 6, Santa Clara at 7, Portland 8, San Francisco in 9th, and Pacific rounding out the poll.
We are trying to compete at the highest level right now, and we've played some really good teams, and I think it kind of just shows us that we're really good, and we can compete with these teams, but we just need to keep working if we want to really get those wins, which I think is really exciting because we get to put in a lot of hard work, and hopefully step by step by the end of the season we'll be winning these matches, these tough matches.
And the 2019 All-WCC preseason women's team. From Pepperdine, Ashley Leahy and Jenya Levashova. From LMU, Veronica Miroshnichenko and Ava Marie Voracek. From Santa Clara, Madison Clark. From St. Mary's, Maria Kozireva. And from Gonzaga, Sophie Whittle. For the men also voted to repeat, the University of San Diego. The Toreros led with 80 votes, followed by a 3-way tie for second between Santa Clara, BYU, and LMU, all tied with 63 points. Pepperdine earns 5th, Portland 6th, Pacific in 7th, Gonzaga 8, St. Mary's 9, and San Francisco rounds out the poll. And for the 2019 All-WCC preseason men's team, from San Diego, August Holgram and Guy Osorio. From Santa Clara, Andrew Gu. From BYU, Sean Hill. From St. Mary's, Damon Caceres. And from LMU, Lucas Monter. For the last dozen years, Paul Thomas has led the St. Mary's women's basketball team to new heights. And though he has tough demeanor on the sideline, we got to see a different side of him at home.
My love of basketball started when I was a junior in high school. We had shop class, and I made a tin box, toolbox. We were told to put in one of, like time capsule things. I wrote that I would win a national championship as a college basketball coach. I knew at that moment when I was a junior in high school that I wanted to coach basketball. Spent 12 years as the head coach there at Cal Poly Pomona. 2 national championships back to back. I'm not a big goal-setting person, but I think if you write stuff down and you can hold yourself to that and you understand that, you can accomplish quite a bit. I just was ready for a different challenge. St. Mary's College women's basketball at that time was going to be a really good challenge for myself. A couple of things we will be working on today. Point of competition is extremely important. It could be getting around somebody for an offensive rebound, but that's probably the biggest thing. All right, any questions? Grab a ball, everybody grab a ball. We want the defense moving, not standing. We are going to take over our spot in the rebounding in this nation again. If you fail to think that way, you are going to fail to get in the game. That's a good pass, Morgan. Now, You lost. Yep, you lost again. Giving up 2 minutes. Go, you have 4. You're lucky you're only running 4. Because you got skunked twice. So other than getting ready for the team, this is what we pretty much do every night. We cook every night. There you go.
Weird head bow on.
There she is. So this is Cosette. This is the littlest one. Yep, there are going to be people here tonight. Let's see it. Let's see it.
It's just so funny.
I do that. Very good.
See if she'll just watch it.
Hi.
Has he become softer on you guys since the baby was born?
Yes. No, that's simply not true. That's simply, yeah. I don't know if it's because of the baby.
I think he was soft before that.
And when we come back, we catch up with a former pilot who's the second most tenured coach in the NBA. And nothing stands in the way of family time. USD's Sam Scholl takes us along to his kids' soccer practice and much more next.
Olympic medalists, MVPs, world champions, Hall of Famers, brightest stars on the biggest stages. All started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.
Here are some of the best moments on social media. Remember BYU's Ashley Hatch, a former WCC Player of the Year and now a star in the NWSL? Turns out she's really good at basketball too, or maybe just trick shots. This one made SportsCenter's top 10. It's March, so spring training is in full swing. Former Zag Marco Gonzalez is projected to be at the top of the Seattle Mariners rotation, and by all accounts, he's ready to roll. And you'll see some pretty good names on Gonzaga's all-time assists list, like Stockton, Santangelo, Pangos. But there's a new one at the top. Josh Perkins passed them all in mid-February. Hey, there's a reason some people call Gonzaga Point Guard U. We're back on the USD campus for this month's episode of WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Erik Spoelstra was the 1989 WCC Freshman of the Year. Since then, he's the second most tenured coach in the NBA, won 3 NBA titles, and coached LeBron James. Let's go next level with the Portland alum.
I had it in my mind that I was going to play somewhere mid-major level, and Portland ended up being the best option, I felt, and ended up there for 4 years, and it was a great experience. Campus was a great size for me. Just in my development at those ages, I was supposed to redshirt. And that was kind of the model for the WCC at that time anyway. You'd come in as an 18-year-old and you would redshirt for a year. And there were some injuries, and before I knew it, all of a sudden I was starting. So that year was not planned to be that way. But looking back on it, I'm glad things shook out the way they did. I remember at the time as an 18-year-old being recruited that virtually every coaching staff said, hey, this is a great coaching league. We had no idea what that meant. You're thinking, is that supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing? You had a lot of players that really loved the game, were students of the game, and weren't quite good enough to play at the next level, even major college basketball at the Division I level, and maybe just that kind of player who knew they had to grind and knew they had to study, knew they had to be on top of all the details, would prepare, us for the next step, but not to this level. I mean, I think it started first with the San Diego Mafia, Eric Musselman, Bernie Bickerstaff. They were the original WCC guys, and then that's how the San Diego guys broke into the league. Mike Brown was really the first one, Chris Grant. I played against those guys, and Neil Meyer, and then obviously Fizz and Borrego came after that. A lot of us wanted to be coaches, but most of us were thinking high school or college. Nobody was thinking at the pro level. I mean, I grew up in an NBA family, but I never had aspirations of being an NBA head coach. I do pinch myself very often, and because of this gratitude that I have with this situation, that's why I'm giving it everything I have, for the people I work for, and I want to do my part.
Here at San Diego, Sam Scholl is enjoying a successful first season as head coach at his alma mater. But the one thing he enjoys more? Spending time with his wife and 3 daughters. Take a look as he takes Sammy along for some family time.
So Reese's team they haven't lost a game yet.
Oh, really?
They've tied. Since the season's gotten deeper and deeper, I've probably made less practices, just because of, games coming so quick and conference, but, certainly in other parts of the year. Once or twice a week? Yeah, once or twice a week. And then even more so with the games, though, too. That's the big part, getting to the games. Riley's in 5th, Reese is in 3rd, and then Reagan's preschool, and she does kindergarten next year. Thought it would be cool to have a boy, but once we found out, and then obviously when Reagan was born, and God said, raise girls, coach boys. So it's fun. It's a good dynamic. I don't know. She's getting the dance moves from. Certainly not from Dad. I'll tell you that. Riley and Reese can name every one of our guys, and Olin is Reagan's favorite player. I mean, oh, it's amazing. Yeah, she's kind of. We joke that she's Olin's groupie. Okay, well, tell Sammy who's your favorite player on the team. Olin. I mean, Olin's so good. Like when we've been on these, when they've been on the bus with us, she'll go back and sit with Olin, and Olin will let her sit. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it for here, please. Salsa's the key. Hey, lots of red salsa. Lots of red salsa. Where am I gonna sit? Who got the beans?
One of the players will count out. One of their best players. Yeah, one of their best players. I feel like Tennessee's gonna shoot 3, and then they're gonna be up there too. Oh, they're driving it.
Oh, and 1. Oh, jeez. Last night I came home and she had her phone propped up. She was doing her homework and had San Diego State and Fresno State on.
They just had a shot of 3, and this dude is on the ground crying. They barely even touched. Oh, shoot, his head's bleeding. His head's bleeding. Yeah.
Oh, he's popped it. Oh, he blocked it. Oh, jeez.
Did he foul? Overtime.
No.
Overtime.
Wants to be a really good coach, but wants to be a Hall of Fame dad.
Up next in our spring previews is beach volleyball. The conference's newest sport is also one of its most successful, with Pepperdine, a perennial national title contender. Let's see how the coaches think this season will play out.
Entering the season ranked number 4 in the AVCA preseason poll, Pepperdine was voted to repeat in the WCC, receiving all 6 first-place votes and a maximum 36 points. The Waves will try for their 4th consecutive WCC title under new leader Marcio Sicoli, replacing the legendary Nina Matthews.
All the WCC teams are getting better and better. We're excited. We're excited to go out there and then test what we have been doing off season.
I think it's really important that all of us seniors just recognize that, wanting to leave our legacy out there and hopefully get our 4th WCC championship. That's a goal. And of course, make it to the NCAA tournament. But at the end of the day, it's just doing what we love and what we grew up doing, and a part of the reason why we came here to Pepperdine.
In second place, St. Mary's receiving 1 first-place vote and 30 points. In 3rd, LMU, 4th, San Francisco, 5th, Pacific, 6th, Portland, and Santa Clara rounds out the poll. And for the 2019 All-WCC preseason beach volleyball team, from Pepperdine, reigning WCC Freshman of the Year, Brooke Bauer, reigning WCC Defensive Player of the Year Deanna Kraft, and reigning 2018 All-WCC First Team Selection Heidi Dyer. From St. Mary's, Emily Bible, Sarah Chase, and Lindsay Knudsen. From LMU, Sarah Kovac, Jessie Pritchard, and Savannah Slattery. And from San Francisco, Anna Dalla Vecchia.
One more block to go. Coming up, we go on the water and preview the WCC rowing season. And if you could meet anyone dead or alive, who would it be? WCC players and coaches tell us their answers when we return.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the three, how do you like that?
One Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.
Here's what to watch out for over the next few weeks. Friday Night Baseball returns to the W.TV this month. Friday the 22nd features 2 games, defending WCC champ Gonzaga at Pepperdine and San Francisco at San Diego. One game will be featured every Friday after that up until the WCC Championship on Memorial Day weekend. And don't forget, the West Coast Conference is hosting first and second round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The games will be played at the SAP Center in San Jose on Friday, March 22nd and Sunday, March 24th.
From San Diego, welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Sammy O'Brien. Well, Gonzaga and San Diego have dominated WCC rowing, winning every league title since 2007. Let's see who the coaches say will take home the crown this season.
With 4 first-place votes and 34 total points, Gonzaga is voted to repeat as WCC rowing champs, followed by LMU receiving 2 first-place votes and San Diego in 3rd with 1, Portland in 4th, St. Mary's at 5, Creighton 6th, and Santa Clara rounds out the poll. And for the preseason All-WCC rowing team, the reigning champion Gonzaga Bulldogs lead the way with 4 rowers, Anna DeLucci, Lauren English, Lindsay English, and Lauren McCallum. Then the LMU Lions with 3, Anna Berry, Ellie Martin, and Lauren Compo. St. Mary's Kelsey Shin and Emily Springings. San Diego's Katie Silla and Claire Adams. Portland's Veronica Nicasio and Lauren Jesse. Santa Clara's Molly Mertes and Lila Chahab. And Creighton's Maggie Barron and McKinley Wilson.
Presidents, movie stars, basketball players, if you could meet anyone dead or alive, who would you choose? We pose that question to WCC coaches and players, so check out their answers.
Ray Allen or Allen Iverson, just because growing up.
We can get that done.
Right? We can definitely get that done.
Pretty easy.
I think Mother Teresa would be amazing just because of her. Mother Teresa!
I'm sorry.
Don't laugh at me.
I want to meet Kevin Durant, and I feel like this social media could help me. So WCC, let's get to tweeting because Kevin.
Mother Teresa.
Please.
Mother Teresa.
Please,
Kevin Durant.
Kevin.
My person would be Rosa Parks. And I would want to know, was she just really tired? Or did she understand that she was starting a movement?
Can I say God? Sure. Okay. Yeah, I would probably like to spend a day with God.
I don't want to be basic, but like Jesus Christ, obviously. Yeah. Just because it'd be cool to ask him how many hairs are on my head.
Well, that'll do it from USD. Thank you for watching WCC All-Access. We leave you with some of the best plays from the last month of action around the West Coast Conference. We'll see you next time.
Closing in on 90 blocks on the season.
Oh, no.
Gino Brando
no.
making a miss.
Oh, my. He just didn't do that, did he?
Nice move by Tia Hay. Cuts it to 2. Half-court heave, and the horn is good. Oh, what a shot by Andy Velasco.
2-on-1 chance for the Dons. Somehow got that flush for Rue, and then stares him down.
Goes away from the screen, creates some separation. Oh, what a swat by Brenna Chase.
Olympic medalists, MVPs, world champions, Hall of Famers, brightest stars on the biggest stages, all started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.